Now that Antorus the Burning Throne is out, let's talk about strategy. This video is going to cover the first 6 bosses from the perspective of a holy paladin. I hope to come out with the strategy for the other half of the raid soon, so keep an eye out for that, and please note that this is from my experience in the raid on normal mode, and this guide is meant to give you a general overview of my recommendations for each fight. I think other healers could benefit from this strategy as well, although I will be discussing paladin spells and talents specifically, so take what you can from it. As a holy paladin, you are a healer in plate. You've got excellent single target heals, great utility, and the ability to diversify your raid group's healer setup. From what I've seen in Antorus so far, it requires a lot of AoE healing, which isn't particularly a holy paladin's main strength, so in this guide I'm going to focus on talent suggestions to help increase your production in each fight. The main legendaries that I used were Marad's Dying Breath, the Cloak, Ilterendi, Crown Jewel of Silvermoon, the Ring, and Valen's Future Sight. If you don't have these legendaries, don't worry, use what you've got. Talent choice. For the most part, this was my choice for talents. Bestow Faith, Rule of Law, Blinding Light, Aura of Mercy, Holy Avenger, Judgment of Light, and Beacon of Faith. Bestow Faith is great to use on cooldown on the tanks to maintain the heals on them. Rule of Law is great for range of heals when the raid is spread out. Blinding Light I used on the Eonar tower defense fight mostly. Aura Mercy to boost my raid-wide AoE healing. Holy Avenger because it's like having a second Avenging Wrath. You can rotate between these 2 spells for boosts in healing. Judgment of Light is great to keep up on the bosses on cooldown because of the single target focuses, and Beacon of Faith is my choice because you will have 2 tanks in all of these encounters and you will need a beacon on each one. Now, as I mentioned, I used Ilterendi here, and I definitely recommend using Ilterendi if you have it, especially with Judgment of Light. These 2 work very synergistically together. But if you don't have these 2 legendaries, like I said, just use what you've got. In this fight, there's a bit of movement you have to pay attention to, but overall not too much. The fight's pretty straightforward. As a healer, you're going to stack with the ranged and other healers. For Decimation, run away. For Annihilation, stack. Make sure you save Aura Mastery for 65% when you run to the back of the room. The group will need lots of raid-wide heals at that point. After he moves on to the next phase, this will repeat again at 25%, so make sure you have Aura Mastery ready again at 25% if it's available. If not, you could always use Tears Deliverance, Rule of Law, Light of Dawn, and, Holy Shock on cooldown. I wouldn't recommend using Light of the Martyr here since the raid will be taking a lot of raid-wide damage, including yourself, so it's a little bit risky. Felhounds of Sargeras. There isn't too much movement other than the fact that you need to run away from giant shadow orbs, so save your Divine Steed spell for that in case you get close to it. And general rule of not standing in things that look bad on the ground applies here. Your 2 tanks will have the hounds separated on each side, so the range will stack together in the middle. Make sure your beacons are on each tank. I had some issues with range here. Even though we were in the middle, at times I couldn't heal both tanks at the same time, so keep an eye out on that. You may have to move back and forth a little bit to get in range. If you get targeted with the giant fire laser of doom, spread it out and point it away from the group. I did not change my talents for this fight, I kept everything the same, so don't forget to use Judgment of Light on cooldown, don't stand in bad things, heal the tanks, heal the raid, you'll be fine. Antoran High Command. This encounter is comprised of 3 bosses, who all share a health pool and rotate in and out of their command pods. I'm going to assume that you, as the healer, will not have to enter a pod, so this is my perspective on that fight. I kept the same talents for this fight as well. If I could say one thing about this fight, watch where you are standing. The encounter will summon lots of mines on the ground, so you need to be careful that you aren't standing near one, and especially not walk on top of one. At one point, as the bosses switch in and out of their pods, you'll have to move into a Fel Shield that your raid member in the pod will cast. Be aware of that. You'll see the entire raid move towards it, so it's kind of easy to spot. When your fellow members enter the pod, they'll take additional damage, so be aware of their health. There's an ability called Chaos Pulse. Dispel any raid members who are affected by this. Portal Keeper Hasabel. The only notes I wrote for this strategy were, don't stand in things. Sounds easy, right? Well, Portal Keeper Hasabel will open up different portals. If you're in a portal group, you run through the portal, defeat a mini-boss up there, then port back down. Watch where you're standing. Watch your AoE heals when the boss ability Reality Tear expires, where raid members will take high damage. Move away from Collapsing World, a giant purple bubble that will spawn under the boss. It's really hard to miss. Save your Divine Steed ability for this to get away quickly. She's also going to spawn giant green laser beams on the ground. This too, you need to run out of. Don't stand in them. Other than that, stay with your assigned group, kill the mini-bosses in the portals, and you'll be good to go. Eonar. This fight I treated as if it was a battleground almost. I changed my talents around a bit for this. I kept Aura of Mercy for this fight, but you could also use Devotion Aura since you'll be split up into smaller groups. I also switched out Judgment of Light for Sanctified Wrath since there aren't too many single target focuses in this encounter besides a few large adds. I also switched Bestow Faith into Light's Hammer for additional AoE healing and damage. Light's Hammer and Consecration together do a nice amount of AoE damage. My advice is to pay attention to what group you are in and where your group is. Just follow your group and heal. Cast Hammer of Justice on adds to help out. And don't forget to use Blinding Light, Light's Hammer, and Consecration on mobs to slow them down and add damage to them. Imonar the Soul Hunter. I switched my talents back to this fight to what I was using originally. Bestow Faith, Rule of Law, Blinding Light, Aura of Mercy, Holy Avenger, Judgment of Light, and Beacon of Faith. There's a lot of movement in this fight, so Rule of Law is especially useful here in order to extend the reach of your heals. Also, throwing Bestow Faith on a tank while moving around helps with additional healing without having to cast anything. Watch the ground, mines are bad, and other things that will spawn that you shouldn't be standing in, so be very wary of where you're walking. At some points, raid members will be debuffed with Sleep Canister. Do not dispel this right away. Instead, wait for the player to move out of range of the raid group and then dispel it. Other than that, avoid triggering traps, mines, move with your group, cast Judgment of Light on cooldown, and you'll be good. Alright guys, so that is my quick explanation of the first 6 bosses from a Holy Paladin's perspective. Let me know what you guys think of the video. If you guys have any other input to add to these first 6 bosses, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you enjoy my channel, please hit the subscribe button to see when I upload a new video and when I live stream. Thanks a lot, and I hope you guys have a great day, and best of luck in Antorus.